when Melanie Troxel made the #1 qualifying pass. In fact, our hearts are still racing. There was a goosebump moment if you were with us just a little bit ago. But how great is it to have Alexis Dejoria just a couple of races away from making her Nitro Funny Car debut for Patron Tequila? And I have to ask you first off, it was great sitting here watching you analyze, watch Funny Cars, see Melanie go #1. What does that do for your competitive juices as you look forward?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, you know, I'm close with Melanie, and I'm rooting for her every run she makes. It's just great to see her team do really well. I know they've been struggling, and I'm excited for what's to come. You know, it's awesome.
I think everybody is, but we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about perhaps your biggest accomplishment to date. Take a look at the cover of National Dragster. It indeed was a shot at the buzzer. You're running out of opportunities to win national events for Alcohol Funny Car Race. You go to Seattle, you take care of business, and get that first win. What was that like?
Well, that's the point where I finally let go, and I wasn't worrying about winning anymore. I said, you know what, we've got 2 races left. I'm not going to worry anymore. I'm just going to have fun and enjoy every second of it. And then that happened.
Yeah.
You know, we had such a consistent car. I mean, coming from the last race where we didn't even qualify to Seattle where we were running consistent runs, getting better every time, and it was just fluid. I mean, it was such a great race, and our chances were really good. I mean, so many people had their first win at that racetrack.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't even tell you. It was overwhelming. It's still unreal to me.
Here's a look at that run. And I want to ask you, as you watch it, was it one of those situations where you actually have to take a step back away from the pressure, just relax a little bit, and suddenly it just comes to you?
The thing's hella fast from half track on. Yeah, really. You know, I was more calm than anything rolling up to the starting line. I mean, my heart wasn't beating, you know, fast like some runs. I was just completely calm.
Far from calm at the far end of the racetrack, though. Emotions.
I couldn't hold back anymore. I could barely get out of the car. I had to collect myself. I was like, I don't want them to see me sweat, man.
I got an opportunity to come back to the pits right after and say, hey, your dad was not in Seattle. He is right here with us, John Paul Dejoria.
Papa.
He wasn't here. How did he find out that his daughter had won?
Well, I think he got a call actually from somebody else before it was me. But I called him a bunch, left some messages, and he didn't know I got the cover of drag racing, so dragster. And so when he came out, it was a big surprise to him as well. I mean, just so huge.
You'll obviously be racing here again this weekend, but between Seattle and here, wow. You took a little bit of vacation and got to celebrate it in style. What'd you do? I
went to France for 2.5 weeks. We have a place in Saint-Tropez. We went to Paris, Monaco. You know, it was just such a great thing, especially after I won. I mean, you know, we celebrated in style.
Well, that one was
fantastic.
Your second national event win. Wow, how about those pictures? Aren't those gorgeous? The first one actually came. Wow,
beautiful.
That is beautiful. The first one actually came in Super Comp 2006. You made the move into Alcohol Funny Car, where you've been for 5 years. What were the expectations when you made the move from the Super Class up to the Alcohol Funny Car?
Well, I knew it was completely different from Super Comp. I mean, I was lucky enough to have, you know, a win that early on. I had only been racing for 8 months, and I made it to 2 finals and won a Super National. So, I mean, I don't know if it was almost, you know, I almost expected, I guess, you know, great runs right away, but I knew it would be tough. You know, yeah. I knew it would be a huge learning curve, and it was. I mean, it was unlike anything I had ever driven before. I had to completely reteach myself from the Super Comp to an Alcohol Funny Car. You're leaving with your left foot, and that was very odd to me, you know, and just getting that rhythm down. But once you get that down, I mean, these cars are so fun to drive. I'm really going to miss it.
Of course, you had a very scary incident that got all of our attention, especially yours back in Englishtown. And as we look at that win, how did that validate you coming back from that moment?
Well, it was huge. I mean, you know, it took us about a month or 2 to rebuild. The car was junk, obviously. If I had a car to get back into, I would have right away, but we didn't. We had to wait 2 months, and we came back full force. We were going rounds, won a divisional. We went to 2 finals at national events, Dallas and Las Vegas. I mean, we came back so strong. So, I mean, my confidence, I rebuilt my confidence, and it was just huge. And we've been working our way back to that point. We've struggled a little bit this year, but we got record numbers in Gainesville. I mean, that was, you know, amazing to have that go down in the record books. And then to get the national win in Top Alcohol Funny Car, that was a big deal for me, and I'll never forget it.
You brought up the term numbers. There's one guy we have on our staff that knows a little bit about numbers. We call him Stat Guy. Yeah. What do you got for us?
What's up, Lewis?
We love the numbers. Great job, Alexis. I'm a little bit jealous about that trip to France, by the way. That looked like a lot of fun. But think about this. She's got the 3rd quickest run in history. She's got the 2nd fastest run in history behind the one and only Frank Manton. When your name is in that group, that is really impressive.
And it seems like then that the timing is right. You've got the numbers, you've got the win, and now it's time to make that move, and we'll do it in Dallas.
With a clear conscience, I'm ready to go. After this race, though. I have first round coming up at 5 o'clock, hopefully. But yeah, so first things first, we're going to work on this race. It's our last race, and we're going to give it our all. We got a great car underneath us, and we're going to have a great time.
Her daughter Isabella has a 9th birthday today.
Happy birthday, baby.
She will have her next birthday, Paul, when we get to Dallas. I don't even know how old she is, and I know better than to ask her. How about that? But, hey, we look forward to your debut.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Paulie?
Hey, thank you, Alexis. Got a lot of good information there as we take a look at Clay Milligan when the engine blew. What I took out of that mostly, Mike Dunn, was the apartment in Saint-Tropez. I think that's something we need to follow up on. So Top Fuel continues its 4th of 5 session of qualifying. Guess who's coming up shortly? How about the Golden Greek, Chris Karamessides?